Every day, millions of people settle for less than they deserve. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. It's something you build piece by piece, decision by decision. And today, in the next hour, you will discover the exact steps to transform self-doubt into unshakable belief, starting from zero. Listen closely, act relentlessly, and by the end of this audiobook, you will never look at yourself the same way again. Chapter 1. Action creates courage. You want confidence? Stop proving yourself. Stop waiting for approval. Stop hoping someone else will tell you that you're ready. That is not how confidence is built. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create. Action beats belief every single time. That's the key. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Look, most people spend their entire lives trying to prove something to someone else. They want validation. They want likes, applause, attention. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come from the crowd. It comes from you. It comes from what you do when no one is watching. The moment you act, you shift from thinking to becoming. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Let's break it down. Step 1. Start small. You don't need to climb a mountain on day 1. You don't need to give a perfect speech, land the perfect job, or impress the perfect person. All you need to do is one thing, one action, and then repeat. One small step forward every single day compounds into unstoppable momentum. That's how confidence grows. That's how belief grows. Action beats belief every time. Here's an example. Look at Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She started with nothing. No investors, no connections, no approval from anyone. But she acted. She prototyped. She pitched. She failed. She got rejected over and over. And with every step, her confidence grew. She didn't wait for anyone to tell her she was ready. She acted, she learned, and she grew. That's the key. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I fail? Good. You will. You will fail. That's part of it. Action doesn't mean you get it right every time. Action means you put yourself in the arena. Action means you face the fear of judgment and do it anyway. You have a choice. You can stay frozen in preparation, polishing your excuses, or you can start doing. That's the choice. And the difference between people who succeed and people who don't is simple. The ones who succeed take action. They fail fast, they learn fast, and they move forward. Let's talk about another example. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Imagine if she had waited for validation. Imagine if she had waited for approval. The world would never know Harry Potter. Confidence didn't come from the publishers. Confidence came from her action, from her refusal to wait. That's the key. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Here's the core rule. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. You can't sit in your head and hope confidence will appear. You can't read self-help books and pray for courage. You must act. Right now, do one thing today that scares you, challenges you, or forces you to step outside your comfort zone. That's how confidence starts. That's how belief is built. And repetition matters. You must do it again and again. Momentum isn't built in one big leap. It's built in micro wins. One small action repeated every day compounds into unstoppable confidence. That's the power of action. That's the power of doing. Every morning, ask yourself, what action will I take today that proves I am capable? Take that action. Then take the next one. Then the next. Repeat, repeat, repeat. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Let's be brutally honest. Waiting for the right moment is an excuse. Waiting for inspiration is a trap. Waiting for anyone's approval is a cage. The world doesn't hand confidence to people who wait. It hands confidence to people who act. The people who fail, who try, who get back up again. Those are the people who become unstoppable. You have a choice. You can wait, or you can do. That's it. That's the only difference. Here's how you start, step by step. Pick one action today. Not 10, not 50. One. Something that scares you or challenges you. Speak up. Reach out. Send that email. Take that call. Do it. That's your first win. Do it again tomorrow. Repetition is non-negotiable. Action compounds belief. Momentum builds confidence. Record your micro wins. Write them down. Review them. Celebrate them silently. Each one proves you're capable. Each one reinforces the truth. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Remember, action is the antidote to doubt. The moment you act, doubt loses its power. The moment you do, fear becomes manageable. The moment you act, you begin to believe. That's the key. Confidence is not built in your head. It's built in your life through repeated action. Let's revisit the real-world proof. Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school team. He could have quit. He could have waited for someone to validate him. But he acted. He trained harder. He practiced longer. He failed over and over. And that action, repeated endlessly, created unstoppable confidence. That's the key. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. And here's the subtle truth most people ignore. No one else is coming to give you permission. You don't need their approval. You don't need anyone's nod. You don't need a green light. You have a choice. You can act now, or you can stay stuck. That's it. That's the truth. Every single confident person you admire, every success story you respect, they started with zero. They started without permission. They started by doing. So, today, right now, make your choice. Take one action. Step into the discomfort. Face the fear. Push the boundaries. And repeat. Every day. Until action is automatic. Until courage is habitual. Until confidence is undeniable. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. You have a choice. The only question is, will you take it? You've seen the examples. You've heard the rules. You felt the truth. Stop proving. Start doing. Build momentum. Build belief. Build confidence. That's how you go from zero to unshakable. That's how you transform self-doubt into unstoppable action. That's the key. You mastered action. You understood the power of doing over proving. Now, let's talk about the silent cost of seeking approval and why chasing validation is secretly destroying your confidence. Chapter 2. The silent cost of seeking validation. Stop. Right now. Think about every decision you've made recently. How many of them were driven by fear of judgment? How many were influenced by what someone else would think? Most people make their lives based on other people's opinions. They chase likes, approval, compliments, acknowledgement. And every time they do, they give away a piece of their confidence. That's the silent cost. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Here's the truth. The moment you rely on someone else's approval, your self-belief weakens. It's subtle. You may not notice it at first, but every time you ask permission, every time you seek validation, you are saying, I am not enough as I am. That thought erodes your power. That thought erodes your confidence. That thought keeps you small. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Think about high achievers, the people who move mountains. Do you think they got there by asking for everyone's blessing? Absolutely not. They acted. They took risks. They faced criticism, judgment, and ridicule head-on. They ignored the noise. They ignored the doubters. They didn't wait for validation. They created their own. That's the key. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need anyone else to tell you you're ready. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Let's take Elon Musk as an example. Tesla, SpaceX, multiple failures, public ridicule, and yet he kept acting. Every step, every launch, every ambitious project faced out. Investors doubted him. Critics doubted him. Friends doubted him. And yet, he moved forward anyway. He didn't wait for approval. He didn't rely on others to tell him he was capable. He acted. That's the power. That's the key. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I need people to like me. I need their support. Stop. That's fear speaking. Fear of judgment is the silent killer of confidence. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to approve. You only need one thing: yourself. You have a choice. You can base your life on fear of rejection, or you can base it on relentless action. That's the choice, and it's yours. Let's break down the psychological trap. Seeking approval rewires your brain. It teaches you to avoid discomfort, avoid criticism, and avoid risk. You become reactive, not proactive. You overthink, you hesitate, you delay. Every time you prioritize someone else's opinion over your own action, your confidence diminishes. It's subtle, it's cumulative, and it's deadly. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Here's how to overcome it. First, recognize when you're seeking approval. Pay attention to your thoughts. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for them? Be brutally honest. Awareness is the first step. Second, take action anyway. Make the choice to move forward even if no one notices, no one cheers, and no one validates. Third, reinforce the habit. Repeat it daily. Each time you act without seeking approval, your confidence grows. That's the power. That's the key. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she faced discrimination, criticism, and rejection. Many would have quit. Many would have tried to appease everyone to gain approval. She didn't. She focused on her action. She focused on her purpose. She built her confidence internally. She learned that approval is optional. Action is mandatory. That's what separates the timid from the unstoppable. Let's make this practical. You can start today. Step 1. Identify one area where you're constantly seeking approval. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's in relationships. Maybe it's online. Whatever it is, decide, I am taking action regardless of approval. Step 2. Take one deliberate action in that area today. No permission required. No validation needed. Step 3. Reflect. Notice how it feels. Every time you act without approval, you strengthen your self-belief. You are rewiring your brain for confidence. That's the key. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Repetition is crucial here. You must hear it, see it, and say it to yourself. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Repeat it before decisions. Repeat it after decisions. Repeat it every morning. Let it become your mantra. Let it become your shield against fear and doubt. Let it become your engine for unstoppable confidence. That's the power. That's the transformation. Here's another example. Steve Jobs. Fired from Apple. Publicly ridiculed, doubted by peers, critics, and even family. Most people would have sought validation. Most people would have waited for approval. Jobs didn't. He acted. He started next. He created Pixar. He didn't seek approval. He created action. That's the lesson. You don't wait for courage. You create it through doing. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. Now, understand this. The people who chase validation live small. They live reactive lives. They are constantly adjusting, constantly apologizing, constantly bending to the will of others. The people who act regardless of approval live large. They live proactive lives. They take risks. They fail. They learn. They grow. They win. You have a choice. You can remain small, or you can act. That's the only difference. So, here's your homework. Identify where you're giving your power away. Identify where you're seeking approval instead of taking action. Make a decision today. Take one bold step. Ignore the critics. Ignore the doubters. Ignore the world. Act. Repeat. 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 Each repetition builds momentum. Each repetition strengthens belief. Each repetition makes confidence inevitable. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. That's the truth. Remember, this chapter isn't just theory. It's practice. It's a call to arms. You are stronger than your doubts, more capable than your fears, and fully capable of creating unstoppable confidence without anyone else's permission. Approval is optional. Action is mandatory. That's the key. That's your choice. You understood the cost of seeking validation. You saw the trap. You learned the path. Now, it's time to take it a step further. Confidence grows silently through discipline, repetition, and self-mastery. And that leads us to our next lesson: how to rewire your mind before you rewire your life. Chapter 3. Rewire your mind before you rewire your life. Everything you are today started in your mind. Every thought, every belief, every action originates in the brain. Confidence is no different. If you want to build unshakable self-belief, you must first master the mental architecture behind it. That's the key. You cannot outdo a negative thought. You cannot outact a limiting belief. You must change the way you think before you can change what you do. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Let's be clear. Your mind is wired for survival, not for success. It will tell you stories. It will warn you. It will convince you to stay small, stay safe, and stay invisible. That's the trap. You have a choice. You can let your old mental programming control you, or you can rewire it intentionally. That's the choice. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 1. Awareness. You must observe your thoughts like a scientist. Notice the stories your mind tells you. I can't do this. I'm not ready. Someone else is better. These thoughts are not truths. They're habits. They're neural pathways your brain repeats over and over. If you listen to them, they become real. If you act on them, they become your reality. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 2. Interrupt the loop. The mind loves repetition, but repetition can be trained. Every time a limiting thought appears, stop it. Replace it with a constructive thought. For example, when your mind whispers, "I can't," respond with, "I'm learning. I'm improving. I will take action anyway." That's how mental rewiring begins. That's how confidence grows from the inside out. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 3. Mental rehearsal. Visualization is not fluff. It is science. Olympic athletes, CEOs, and elite performers all practice mentally before physically executing. Close your eyes. See yourself succeeding. Hear the sounds. Feel the emotions. Create a mental blueprint of the confident version of you. When it's time to act in reality, your mind already believes it is possible. That's the key. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 4. Affirmations. Repetition builds habits, and words build thoughts. Speak aloud. I am capable. I am confident. I am in control. Say it every morning. Say it before challenges. Say it when doubt creeps in. Your brain will adapt. Over time, these words will shape your actions. That's the power of disciplined repetition. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Let's look at real-world proof. Consider Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not born with confidence, not born with privilege. He rewired his mind daily. He visualized his goals. He repeated affirmations. He acted relentlessly in alignment with a mental image he had created of himself. Bodybuilding titles, acting stardom, political influence, all flowed from his mental blueprint first. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Now, here's the crucial point. It is not enough to think. You must act in alignment with your mental rewiring. Thinking alone will create frustration. Action is the bridge between thought and reality. Every confident action reinforces the new neural pathways. Every deliberate step proves your mind right. That's why the repetition works. That's why the combination of thought and action is unstoppable. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 5. Monitor your self-talk. Notice the words you use internally. Are they empowering, or are they destructive? Are they reinforcing fear, doubt, and hesitation? Or are they building strength, courage, and clarity? Replace toxic dialogue with constructive loops. This is your mental gym. The stronger your inner voice, the stronger your outer confidence. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Step 6. Daily micro-practices. Mental rewiring is a habit, not a one-time event. Spend 10 minutes visualizing your ideal self. Spend 5 minutes repeating affirmations. Reflect on your thoughts and redirect destructive patterns. This daily practice compounds over time, creating unstoppable momentum. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Here's another example. Oprah Winfrey did not start with unshakable confidence. She rewired her mind daily. She visualized her success. She repeated affirmations. She took action aligned with the mental image she created of herself. She created habits that reinforced belief, and over time, she became unstoppable. That's the method. That's the proof. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Let's be honest. The world will challenge your rewiring. Criticism will appear. Doubt will creep in. Fear will show up. That's normal. The stronger your mental discipline, the less impact external noise will have. You cannot control the world, but you can control your mind. That's the ultimate power. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Now, practical steps for you. Identify a limiting belief that holds you back. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Confront it. Then replace it with a constructive alternative. Practice visualization daily. Spend 5 minutes seeing yourself succeed. Feel it, hear it, live it in your mind. Your brain cannot distinguish imagination from reality when rehearsed consistently. Use affirmations consistently. Morning, midday, and evening. Repeat words that reinforce strength, capability, and confidence. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. Align action with thought. Take one deliberate action every day that confirms the mental rewiring. No action, no change. That's the truth. Remember, confidence does not start in your actions. It starts in your mind. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you act without rewiring your mental architecture, you are building on unstable ground. But if you rewire first, if you practice daily, if you repeat your affirmations, if you align your actions, confidence becomes inevitable. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is simple. The ones who succeed take control of their mental environment. They sculpt their thoughts. They practice mental discipline. They refuse to be controlled by doubt or fear. They understand that their mind is the blueprint for their life. Think like the person you want to become, and act like them too. So today, begin the process. Observe your thoughts. Challenge limiting beliefs. Practice visualization. Speak affirmations. Take action. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Build the mental architecture of confidence before you build the life of confidence. That's how transformation happens. That's how self-belief becomes unshakable. That's the key. You now understand the power of your mind. You know how thoughts shape reality. You have the tools: mental rehearsal, affirmations, self-talk loops. Now, it's time to take this further, into the arena of fear and challenge. Confidence is built under pressure. And that brings us to the next chapter. Chapter 4. Embrace fear like a weapon. Fear. Most people hate it. Most people run from it. Most people spend their lives avoiding anything that feels uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Every time you feel fear, every time your heart races, every time doubt whispers, it is pointing to exactly where you need to go. Fear shows you your growth edges. Fear highlights the path to strength, courage, and unshakable confidence. Let's get this straight. The things that scare you most are exactly what you need to face. Fear is not a signal to stop. Fear is a signal to act. It's feedback. It's information. It's telling you where your power lies, where your next step must be. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Look at entrepreneurs. They risk money, reputation, and time every single day. Every pitch, every product launch, every decision is scary. And yet, the most successful entrepreneurs don't avoid fear. They harness it. Elon Musk faced fear at every turn. Investors doubted him. Critics ridiculed him. Projects failed publicly. And still, he moved forward. Why? Because he learned to see fear as a signal, not a stop sign. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Athletes are no different. Think of Olympic champions. They feel the pressure, the fear, the doubt. Every time they step onto the field, every time they compete, fear is there. But they use it. They channel it into focus, intensity, and performance. Fear tells them where to push, where to improve, where to excel. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Here's the core rule. Fear measures growth. The bigger the fear, the bigger the opportunity. If you avoid it, you stay small. If you face it, you grow. Every step you take toward fear strengthens your confidence. Every act you take despite fear proves your courage. Every time you engage with fear, it loses control over you. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Now, let's be honest. Fear is uncomfortable. It's raw. It makes your stomach twist, your hands sweat, your mind doubt. That's the point. Fear is a natural signal of growth. It's your body and mind telling you, this matters. This will stretch you. This will transform you. You have a choice. You can retreat. You can hide. Or you can step forward. Step into it. Step through it. Step past it. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Here's how to use fear as a weapon. Identify what scares you most. Be honest. Make a list. What do you avoid? What challenges trigger anxiety? These are your growth opportunities. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Take deliberate action. Don't overthink it. Face one fear, one step at a time. Send the email, make the call, take the stage, start the project. Each action builds courage. Each action proves to yourself that fear does not control you. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Reframe fear as fuel. Every time fear arises, ask, what is this fear showing me? How can I use it to grow? Transform adrenaline into action. Transform anxiety into momentum. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Repeat consistently. Courage is a habit, not an occasional act. Confront fear daily. The more you practice, the less it controls you. The more you engage, the more confidence becomes automatic. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Let's look at real-world proof. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team, faced the fear of failure every day. Every practice, every game, Every shot carried doubt. And he embraced it. He let fear drive him, not stop him. That fear made him practice harder, push further, and ultimately dominate the sport. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Another example, Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. Every pitch she made, every investor meeting, every prototype was terrifying. Fear was constant, and yet she learned to see fear as a guide, as a signal, as a challenge. She acted anyway. She embraced it. She converted fear into unstoppable action. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Here's the key takeaway. Your comfort zone is a cage. Fear is the lock. You must step toward what scares you. You must lean into the discomfort. You must engage with the uncertainty. That is where confidence is forged. That is where courage is born. That is where transformation happens. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Let's make it practical for you. Today, pick one fear you've been avoiding. It could be speaking up, asking for what you want, making a move in your career, or starting a new project. Step toward it deliberately. Do not rationalize. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is a myth. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Next, break it down into micro actions. You don't have to jump in fully on day one. Take small, deliberate steps toward the fear. Each step is a victory. Each step compounds your courage. Each step reinforces the truth. You are capable, you are strong, you are resilient. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Finally, reinforce the mindset daily. Every morning, ask yourself, what fear will I confront today? Every evening, reflect on how you faced it. Every repetition strengthens the neural pathways of courage. Every engagement rewires your mind for confidence. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. Here's the brutal truth. Most people never embrace fear. They shrink. They hide. They let life pass them by. But the ones who do, those who lean in, who act, who persist, they're unstoppable. Fear becomes their guide, their weapon, their greatest ally. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. So today, make the choice. Identify your fear. Step toward it. Act. Repeat. Let fear guide you to the edges of your potential. Let it point you to the growth you crave. Let it show you what you are capable of. Every step, every action, every moment builds confidence. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. You've learned the power of action. You've learned the cost of seeking approval. You've learned to rewire your mind. Now, you understand that fear is not a stop sign. It's a guide. Embrace it. Use it. Transform it. You mastered fear. Now, let's talk about building your power quietly, without attention, and mastering the silent habits that compound into unstoppable confidence. Chapter 5. Build your silent identity. Listen closely. Confidence is not about showing off. Confidence is not about appearances. Confidence is not about applause or attention. Real confidence grows quietly in the habits you build when no one is watching. Your real power is built when no one is watching. That's the key. Most people chase the spotlight. They think confidence is proving themselves to others. They try to impress, to be seen, to get recognition. But that is the illusion. The loudest displays of confidence are often the weakest. True confidence is private. It's habitual. It's disciplined. It's silent. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Here's the truth. Every successful person you admire has a silent identity. They do what others don't see. They practice when the world sleeps. They refine skills when no one is applauding. They build habits that compound slowly over time. They do the work quietly. And that quiet work creates unshakable confidence. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Let's take the example of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Everyone sees the muscles, the charisma, the success. Few see the 4 a.m. workouts. Few see the relentless rehearsal of his craft. Few see the countless hours spent perfecting himself before he ever stepped into the spotlight. That is the silent identity. That is where his confidence was forged. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Or look at Serena Williams. Every tennis champion you admire has countless hours of private practice. Repetition, discipline, focus outside the cameras, outside the fame. Those hours of silent work create a foundation for public dominance. That is how unshakable confidence is built. Not from applause, not from validation, not from recognition. Your real power is built when no one is watching. So, how do you build your silent identity? Step 1. Create private rituals. Decide on a habit that strengthens your skill, your mindset, or your body. Wake up early. Journal. Meditate. Practice your craft. Do it consistently. Do it deliberately. And do it when no one is looking. That's where transformation happens. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Step 2. Focus on consistency over flashiness. Small, repeated actions are more powerful than occasional grand gestures. Success is the sum of daily habits, not one-off displays. Show up. Do the work. Repeat. 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 That repetition compounds into mastery. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Step 3. Embrace discipline, even when it's boring. Discipline builds confidence silently. It teaches you self-control, focus, and resilience. Every time you follow through when no one is watching, you're proving to yourself that you are capable. That is the core of silent power. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Let's make it practical. Pick one area of your life where you want to build confidence. It could be fitness, skill development, learning, or personal growth. Decide on one habit to reinforce daily. Commit to it privately, without seeking attention or recognition. Every day, do it. Every repetition builds belief. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Here's an example from business. Jeff Bezos didn't become the richest man in the world by seeking praise in the beginning. He started quietly, coding, building systems, solving problems. He built silently, methodically, consistently. When the results appeared, everyone noticed. But the foundation of his confidence, skill, and mastery was private. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Another example, authors and artists. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in cafes, ignored by the world. She faced rejection, failure, and doubt. She didn't need anyone to notice. She focused on her craft. She built silently. That quiet, private effort became unstoppable confidence and eventual success. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Here's the mindset you need. Your worth is not defined by external recognition. Your value is not measured by applause. Your confidence is not granted by others. It is earned quietly through repeated, disciplined action. Every habit, every choice, every private effort builds your silent identity. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Now, let's address a common pitfall. Many people start building habits for recognition, praise, or to impress someone. That's a trap. Habits built for external validation crumble under pressure. Habits built for internal mastery withstand every challenge. Focus on your private growth. Focus on your internal standards. Focus on the work, not the audience. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Repetition is crucial here. Every day, remind yourself, my real power is built when no one is watching. Say it to yourself in the morning. Say it before you practice, before you train, before you take action. Let it guide your choices. Let reinforce your private identity. Let anchor your confidence. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Step 4. Track your progress privately. Write down your wins, your improvements, your milestones. Do it silently. Review it without seeking validation. Celebrate internally. Each note, each reflection strengthens your belief in yourself. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Step 5. Detach from external outcomes. Confidence is a byproduct of discipline, not applause. Focus on effort, mastery, and repetition. Let results come naturally. Don't tie your self-worth to recognition. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Think about this. If you can build confidence without anyone noticing, without approval, without applause, you are unstoppable. Nothing external can shake you. You are immune to criticism, to rejection, to comparison. You are anchored in yourself. That is silent power. That is mastery. That is true confidence. Your real power is built when no one is watching. Let's summarize the steps. Create private habits. Wake up early. Practice your craft. Strengthen your mind and body. Prioritize consistency over showiness. Small, daily actions compound into mastery. Practice discipline in silence. Follow through even when no one is watching. Track your progress privately. Record micro wins and improvements. Detach from external outcomes. Focus on effort, mastery, and repetition. Every step reinforces your silent identity. Every action proves to yourself that you are capable. Every repetition compounds into unstoppable confidence. Your real power is built when no one is watching. You've taken action. You've faced fear. You've rewired your mind. Now, you understand that true confidence is built quietly, away from eyes and applause. Your habits, your discipline, your private efforts define your identity. Master this, and nothing external can break you. Next, we'll learn how to fail intentionally and use failure as fuel to build unstoppable momentum. Confidence is not about avoiding failure. It's about mastering it. That brings us to Chapter 6, Fail Forward, Fail Fast. Listen carefully. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is not something to fear. Failure is not a sign that you are weak. Failure is a tool. Failure is fuel. Failure is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. That's the key. Every mistake, every setback, every no or rejection is an opportunity to grow. Failing is not the end, it's the beginning. Most people avoid failure at all costs. They wait for the perfect moment. They overprepare. They procrastinate. They play it safe. And what happens? Nothing. No growth. No confidence. No momentum. You have a choice. You can stay comfortable or you can fail forward fast. That's the choice. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Look at innovators. Thomas Edison. Thousands of failed experiments before the light bulb. Every failure taught him something. Every failure built the foundation of confidence to keep going. He didn't fear failure. He embraced it. He used it as feedback. He used it as a roadmap to improvement. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Entrepreneurs are no different. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, faced rejection after rejection. Investors said no. Stores said no. And yet, she didn't stop. She doubled down. She learned. She adjusted. Every failure fueled her next action, and every action built confidence. She understood a truth most people ignore. Failure is temporary. Growth is permanent. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Here's the harsh reality. The people who succeed are not the people who avoid failure. They are the people who fail intentionally, fail fast, and fail forward. They extract lessons quickly. They adapt. They iterate. They move forward stronger every time. That is how confidence is forged. That is how unshakable belief is built. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Step 1. Change your relationship with failure. Stop seeing it as an obstacle. Stop seeing it as a verdict on your worth. Stop fearing it. Start seeing it as information. Start seeing it as fuel. Start seeing it as proof that you are growing. Every failure is a signal. Every setback is a lesson. Every mistake is a step forward. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Step 2. Take action aggressively. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait for certainty. Act. Take risks. Make mistakes. The more you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster your confidence grows. Momentum comes from action, not from waiting. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Step 3. Analyze and adapt. Every failure carries a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? Extract the knowledge. Apply it. Iterate. Refine. Repeat. That is the process of failure as fuel. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Consider J.K. Rowling. Rejected by multiple publishers, struggling financially, facing doubt and ridicule. She could have quit. She could have given up, but she failed forward. Each rejection taught her how to pitch better, how to edit her manuscript, how to persist. Today, Harry Potter is a global phenomenon. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Athletes do it every day. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school team, failed repeatedly. Every missed shot, every lost game, every critique from coaches became motivation. Every failure drove him to train harder, practice longer, push further. Confidence was built not in victories. It was built in response to failure. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Here's the mindset you must adopt. Failure is not shameful. Failure is not a reflection of your value. Failure is evidence that you're taking action. Failure is proof that you are learning. Failure is necessary. If you never fail, you are never pushing hard enough. You have a choice. Embrace failure or stay small. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Step 4. Fail intentionally. Don't avoid challenges. Don't seek comfort. Put yourself in positions where you risk mistakes, where you risk judgment, where you risk falling short. That is where growth lives. That is where confidence is forged. That is where belief in yourself is created. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Step 5. Normalize failure. Talk about it. Write about it. Reflect on it. Share the lessons. The more you confront it openly, the less power it has over you. The more you engage with it, the more unstoppable you become. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Here's a practical exercise. Identify one area where you fear failure. Maybe it's speaking up, pitching an idea, taking a risk, or starting a project. Take deliberate action that has a chance of failure. Don't overthink it. Step into discomfort. Step into risk. After the attempt, analyze what happened. Extract lessons. Adjust. Prepare for the next step. Repeat the process relentlessly. Each cycle compounds learning, courage, and confidence. The key is speed. Fail fast. Fail forward. Don't waste time hesitating. The faster you fail, the faster you learn, the faster you build belief in yourself. Waiting for perfection is a trap. Waiting for certainty is a trap. Waiting for approval is a trap. Action plus failure equals confidence. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Let's talk about mindset again. Every time failure hits, remind yourself, this is fuel. This is feedback. This is momentum. Don't wallow. Don't shame yourself. Don't quit. Extract the lesson, Take the next action, repeat. That's how winners think. That's how confident people operate. That's how transformation occurs. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Remember, the fastest path to unshakable confidence is not avoiding failure. It's engaging with it intentionally, extracting lessons, and using it as a stepping stone. Confidence grows when you act despite fear. Confidence grows when you stumble, get back up, and take the next step. Confidence grows when failure is no longer a stop sign. It is a signal. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. You now understand the principle. Failure is feedback. Failure is fuel. Failure is forward motion. You've seen the examples. Edison, Sarah Blakely, Michael Jordan, J.K. Rowling. They all failed forward, fast, and built unstoppable confidence. Now it's your turn. Identify, act, extract, repeat. That's the method. That's the truth. Failing is the fastest way to start believing in yourself. Next, we will explore how to master your inner dialogue and control the self-talk that either builds you up or tears you down. The mind is where confidence lives or dies. That leads us to Chapter 7, Master Your Inner Dialogue. Listen closely. The loudest voice you will ever hear is your own. Every thought, every sentence, every word you speak to yourself shapes your reality. Confidence does not come from external approval. Confidence comes from a narrative you tell yourself. Toxic self-talk destroys progress. Positive, disciplined self-talk builds unstoppable belief. What you tell yourself, you will become. That is the key. Most people ignore their inner dialogue. They let negativity run unchecked. I can't do this. I'm not ready. They're better than me. These thoughts are repeated over and over, shaping their decisions, their actions, and ultimately their lives. What you tell yourself, you will become. Let's be clear. Self-talk is not just words in your head. It is programming. It is reinforcement. Every repetition strengthens neural pathways, and every pathway determines behavior. If your thoughts are critical, hesitant, fearful, you will act accordingly. If your thoughts are disciplined, confident, and constructive, you will act accordingly. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 1. Become aware of your inner dialogue. Listen, observe, write it down if necessary. Track every recurring thought that discourages, doubts, or criticizes. Awareness is the first step to mastery. You cannot control what you do not see. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 2. Interrupt toxic patterns. When a negative thought arises, stop it immediately. Say to yourself, "That's not true. That's not helpful. I choose differently." Replace the destructive narrative with an empowering one. Repeat it. Reinforce it. That's how you rewire your mind. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 3. Reframe your perspective. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every failure is feedback. Every obstacle is a lesson. Shift your inner dialogue from doubt to curiosity, from fear to strategy, from weakness to strength. For example, when you think, "I can't handle this," reframe it as, "This is a chance to grow. I will take action anyway." Reframe again and again. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 4. Affirm small wins daily. Each time you act, each time you overcome hesitation, each time you follow through, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, "I did it. I am capable. I'm growing." Small affirmations compound over time, reshaping your beliefs from the inside out. What you tell yourself, you will become. Look at elite athletes. Serena Williams, for example, constantly reinforces her inner dialogue. Every match, every practice, every setback is met with disciplined self-talk. "I belong here. I am strong. I will improve." That internal narrative fuels every action and amplifies performance. Your internal dialogue is your secret weapon. What you tell yourself, you will become. Entrepreneurs are no different. Elon Musk faces immense pressure daily. Every project, every launch, every public critique could destabilize anyone. Yet he controls his internal narrative. He frames challenges as opportunities. He speaks to himself with purpose and focus. That mental discipline drives unstoppable action. What you tell yourself, you will become. Here's a practical framework for mastering your inner dialogue. Track toxic thoughts. Write them down. Recognize patterns. Identify triggers. Awareness is power. Interrupt and reframe. Every negative thought is a chance to consciously redirect. Replace doubt with strategy, fear with curiosity, weakness with action. Affirm wins daily. Celebrate micro successes, progress, and effort. Reinforce belief incrementally. Repeat relentlessly. Daily repetition solidifies new pathways. Self-talk becomes automatic. Confidence grows. Consider the psychology behind it. Your brain cannot distinguish between constructive self-talk and external validation if repeated consistently. The more you tell yourself you're capable, disciplined, and strong, the more you act in alignment with those statements. Conversely, repeated doubt produces hesitation, indecision, and paralysis. What you tell yourself, you will become. Here's an example from real life. J.K. Rowling faced relentless rejection early in her career. She could have listened to the doubts in her mind. I'm not good enough. This will never work. Instead, she rewired her self-talk. She focused on effort, discipline, and creativity. She framed every no as data, every challenge as fuel. That disciplined inner narrative propelled her to success. What you tell yourself, you will become. Another example, Michael Jordan, cut from his high school team. That could have been a narrative of defeat. Instead, he spoke to himself with precision. I will work harder. I will improve. I will not quit. That inner dialogue drove him to relentless practice and eventually to greatness. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 5. Implement mental checkpoints throughout the day. Pause before decisions, before actions, before reactions. Ask, what am I telling myself right now? Is this narrative helpful or harmful? Interrupt harmful patterns. Replace them. Strengthen your mental narrative. What you tell yourself, you will become. Step 6. Make self-talk habitual. Repeat affirmations in the morning, midday, and evening. Reinforce victories, however small. Visualize success while narrating confidence internally. Over time, this repetition rewires your mental pathways for automatic confidence. What you tell yourself, you will become. Here's a mindset principle. Self-talk is the foundation of confidence. You can have all the knowledge, all the skills, all the plans, but if your internal dialogue undermines you, you will hesitate, doubt, and fail to act. Conversely, disciplined, constructive self-talk propels action, accelerates learning, and amplifies belief. What you tell yourself, you will become. Let's summarize the steps for mastery. Awareness. Track and observe your inner dialogue. Interruption. Stop toxic patterns immediately. Reframing. Transform every negative thought into a constructive narrative. Affirmation. Reinforce progress and wins daily. Checkpoints. Pause to evaluate your thoughts throughout the day. Repetition. Make disciplined self-talk habitual and automatic. The moment you master your inner dialogue, you control the foundation of your confidence. You control the lens through which you see challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. You control the narrative that drives action. That is the essence of self-belief. What you tell yourself, you will become. You now understand the power of words inside your mind. You know how toxic thoughts can destroy progress, and how disciplined self-talk builds unstoppable confidence. Master this, and nothing external can shake your belief. You've learned action, fear, silent habits, failure, and mental rewiring. Now it's time to link all of these into your ultimate growth driver: consistent, deliberate focus. That leads us to Chapter 8. Commit to daily micro-wins. Listen carefully. Confidence is not built in a day. Transformation does not happen in one giant leap. It happens in the small choices you make, the tiny victories you stack, and the consistency you maintain. The compound effect of daily effort is unstoppable. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. That is the key. Most people underestimate micro-wins. They wait for monumental success to feel progress. They ignore the small habits, the tiny victories, the incremental improvements. And what happens? Momentum never builds. Confidence stalls. Motivation fades. You have a choice. Take small steps daily or stay stuck. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Let's define micro-wins. Micro-wins are deliberate, achievable actions that push you forward. They could be waking up early, writing 100 words, practicing a skill for 20 minutes, sending an important email, reading a chapter. Each action is a seed. Each repetition compounds. Over time, these micro-wins become unstoppable momentum. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Consider morning routines. Most high achievers start the day intentionally. Tim Ferriss, Robin Sharma, Hal Elrod, they structure their mornings to win. Meditation, exercise, journaling, planning, reading, each tiny habit builds focus, clarity, and belief in themselves. These are micro-wins. Consistent execution compounds into massive confidence. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Skill building is no different. Musicians, athletes, entrepreneurs, they all practice daily. 1 hour at a time. One small task at a time. No shortcuts. No excuses. Each practice session strengthens capability. Each session builds belief. The secret is repetition. Micro-wins create momentum. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Micro-goals amplify the effect. Instead of focusing on overwhelming outcomes, break tasks into achievable chunks. Want to launch a business? Start with research today. Draft one email tomorrow. Make one connection next day. Progress accumulates quietly, yet powerfully. Confidence grows invisibly, steadily, inevitably. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Here's the science. The brain loves reinforcement. Every completed task releases dopamine, signaling reward. Small wins trigger a sense of accomplishment. Compound enough micro-wins, and your brain associates consistent action with success. Confidence becomes automatic. Momentum accelerates. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Let's look at real-world proof. Consider Warren Buffett. He reads hundreds of pages daily, consistently, without fanfare. Each reading session is a micro-win. Each session compounds knowledge, clarity, and decision-making ability. Over decades, these small habits became the foundation for monumental success. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Another example, Serena Williams. Daily drills, hundreds of shots, countless repetitions, disciplined practice. Each micro-win builds strength, precision, and confidence. None of it is glamorous. None of it is visible to the public. But when competition arrives, those micro-wins compound into dominance. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Step 1. Define your micro-wins. Choose 1 or 2 small actions that, if repeated daily, will push you closer to your goal. Keep them simple. Keep them achievable. Focus on progress, not perfection. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Step 2. Schedule them deliberately. Put them in your calendar. Treat them as non-negotiable. Consistency is more important than intensity. Momentum is built on habit, not inspiration. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Step 3. Track your progress. Use a journal, a checklist, or an app. Each completed micro-win reinforces belief. Each completed task compounds motivation. Seeing progress daily builds internal proof of capability. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Step 4. Celebrate privately. Acknowledge every micro-win. Reinforce the narrative. I am consistent. I am disciplined. I am growing. Internal recognition strengthens your identity. Confidence grows silently but powerfully. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Step 5. Escalate gradually. Once habits stick, add another micro-win. Another skill. Another deliberate action. Keep compounding. Build momentum. Avoid overwhelming yourself. Focus on consistency first, magnitude later. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Here's a mindset principle. Success is a series of small victories. Confidence is a series of small beliefs reinforced over time. You do not need massive breakthroughs to transform your life. You need daily action, repeated consistently, relentlessly. That is the power of micro-wins. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Practical exercise. Identify 3 micro-wins that matter most this week. Execute them daily, without fail. Record completion and reflect on progress each evening. Adjust next week and add new micro-wins as capacity grows. Remember, the compounding effect is unstoppable. One micro-win leads to another. Momentum accelerates. Belief strengthens. Actions become habits. Habits become identity. Identity becomes confidence. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. Consider your life. How many opportunities have been lost because you waited for massive breakthroughs or overnight success? Stop waiting. Start small. Start now. Each deliberate, consistent step is a victory. Each step compounds into unstoppable confidence. Your future self is built one micro-win at a time. Small steps every day make giants out of beginners. You now understand the principle. Daily micro-wins compound into momentum, mastery, and confidence. They are the foundation of transformation. Your task is simple. Pick your micro-wins, execute daily, repeat, and compound. Momentum builds silently, but its impact is unstoppable. Next, we'll explore discipline under pressure, how to maintain consistency when motivation fades, and how to turn repetition into automatic mastery. That brings us to Chapter 9. Surround yourself with mirrors, not windows. Listen carefully. Confidence is contagious, or it's destructive. The people around you shape your thoughts, your beliefs, and ultimately your actions. They either reflect your doubts back at you or amplify your potential. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. That's the truth. The environment you create is the foundation of your confidence, your discipline, and your growth. Most people underestimate influence. They think talent, intelligence, or hard work alone determine success. Wrong. The people you spend the most time with set the boundaries of your possibility. Are they mirrors, reflecting your ambition and strengths? Or are they windows, offering glimpses of success you believe is out of reach? Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Mirrors amplify your potential. They reflect your strengths, challenge you to grow, and hold you accountable. They do not waste time with gossip, criticism, or excuses. They push you. They inspire you. They make you uncomfortable in the best way. They mirror your commitment to action and discipline. That's why surrounding yourself with mirrors is non-negotiable. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Windows, on the other hand, are dangerous. They remind you of what you don't have. They highlight your inadequacies. They focus on impossibility instead of opportunity. They reflect doubt and insecurity. And if you spend too much time looking through them, you'll begin to internalize their limitations. Avoid windows. Seek mirrors. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Let's look at real-world examples. Mentorship is one of the most powerful ways to surround yourself with mirrors. A mentor reflects your potential back at you, provides guidance, and holds you accountable. Look at Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Gates sought Buffett's mentorship and mirror effect. It amplified his perspective, accelerated his growth, and helped him navigate massive challenges. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Accountability groups are another example. Surrounding yourself with peers who push you to deliver, challenge you to improve, and celebrate your wins creates compounding momentum. Think of entrepreneurs and mastermind groups. Small victories and lessons accelerate because everyone mirrors accountability, not excuses. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Even everyday relationships matter. Friends, family, colleagues, if they focus on complaints, fear, and stagnation, they are windows. They limit your vision, distract your energy, and reinforce doubts. Seek out mirrors. People who reflect your ambition, challenge your habits, and model the behavior you aspire to develop. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Step 1. Audit your circle. Write down the 10 people you spend the most time with. Evaluate their influence. Do they reflect potential or doubt? Support growth or stagnation? Challenge or comfort you? Be brutally honest. This is foundational. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Step 2. Increase mirror exposure. Seek mentorship, accountability groups, high performers, and peers who push you. Engage in communities aligned with your growth. Immerse yourself in environments that demand excellence. Consistent exposure to mirrors rewires your standards. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Step 3. Reduce window exposure. Limit time with people who reflect doubt, fear, and excuses. Avoid media, environments, or relationships that pull your confidence down. You don't need drama, negativity, or distraction. Protect your energy. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Step 4. Reflect and engage actively. Don't just passively exist among mirrors. Ask questions. Learn. Challenge assumptions. Push each other to execute. Mirrors are only effective if interaction is active. Surround yourself deliberately. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Consider Elon Musk again. His teams are carefully curated. Every member challenges assumptions, executes relentlessly, and mirrors high standards. That circle creates an environment where extraordinary results are inevitable. Imagine if he surrounded himself with complacency. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Here's another example, Serena Williams. She surrounds herself with coaches, trainers, and peers who challenge her daily. They reflect her potential, amplify her strengths, and never allow excuses. That mirror effect contributes to her consistent dominance. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Even in personal growth, mirrors matter. Books, podcasts, seminars, they are reflections of possibility. They echo mindset, strategy, and execution standards. Consume media that mirrors the person you want to become. Avoid content that windows failure, excuses, or mediocrity. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Step 5. Cultivate your mirror effect. Be a mirror for others. Hold yourself accountable. Model behavior worth following. Mentorship, guidance, reflection. These strengthen your confidence as much as your circle does. Mirrors create momentum both ways. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Here's the mantra. Every person you spend time with either limits or amplifies you. Every interaction shapes your confidence, mindset, and discipline. Be intentional. Surround yourself with mirrors, not windows. Protect your energy. Elevate your standards. Reinforce growth. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. Practical exercise. List the people you spend the most time with. Identify mirrors and windows. Strategically increase time with mirrors. Seek mentors, accountability partners, and high performers. Reduce exposure to windows that reflect doubt, fear, or stagnation. Engage actively with mirrors. Ask, learn, challenge, and act. Remember, your circle dictates your confidence trajectory. Mirrors amplify, windows limit. Deliberate exposure compounds belief, momentum, and execution. You cannot afford to be passive. Your environment is either building you or breaking you. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your limits. You now understand the critical principle. Influence shapes confidence. Your internal strength grows faster when surrounded by reflection, accountability, and high standards. Your limits expand only when your circle mirrors excellence, not excuses. You've mastered action, fear, silent habits, failure, self-talk, micro wins, and focus. Now we tie everything together with the ultimate catalyst, purpose. That brings us to Chapter 10. Own your confidence. No excuses. Listen carefully. Confidence is not given. Confidence is not borrowed. Confidence is not inherited. It is earned. It is claimed. It is owned. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. That's the ultimate truth. Everything you've learned so far, action, fear, silent habits, failure, self-talk, micro wins, focus, mirrors, and purpose, leads to this: total responsibility for your belief in yourself. Most people fail to realize this. They blame circumstances. They wait for permission. They hope someone notices their effort. They say, if only stop it. That thinking is fatal. Confidence comes from ownership, from doing, from repeating, from relentless accountability. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Look at elite performers. Serena Williams doesn't wait for confidence to appear. She builds it daily, through practice, through discipline, through preparation. Every rep, every drill, every mental adjustment is a claim on her belief. She owns her confidence. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk don't wait for conditions to be perfect. They step in, take the risk, fail forward, adapt, and act again. Confidence is not a state. They create it through relentless action. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Step 1. Daily rituals. Morning routines, skill building, journaling, movement, reflection. These are non-negotiable. Each repeated ritual reinforces belief. Each daily commitment solidifies confidence. No excuses. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Step 2. Relentless self-checks. Pause. Ask yourself, am I acting with discipline? Am I following through on commitments? Am I owning my confidence today? Be brutal. Be honest. Adjust immediately. This is how accountability compounds. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Step 3. Eliminate excuses. Excuses are the enemy of ownership. They delay progress, erode self-belief, and hand power to circumstances. Say no to excuses. Reject them. Replace them with deliberate action. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Step 4. Act in every domain. Confidence is holistic. Physical, mental, emotional, social. Claim it in all areas. Show up fully. Do not rely on fleeting motivation. Consistency is the anchor. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Consider real-world proof. Jeff Bezos didn't inherit confidence or luck. He built it, one decision at a time, one calculated risk at a time, one small win at a time. He claimed it relentlessly, consistently, and without permission. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, they all share one principle: ownership. They do not wait for validation. They do not hope for circumstances. They own their confidence through action, habit, reflection, and relentless improvement. This is the difference between the average and the unstoppable. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Here's a practical framework to implement immediately. Define your ownership. Write down areas where you want unshakable confidence. Be specific. Physical, mental, emotional, or career domains. Set daily rituals. Choose micro-actions that reinforce confidence. Execute them daily without exception. Conduct self-checks. Review your progress each evening. Adjust, recommit, and correct mistakes. Eliminate excuses. Identify every excuse that blocks action. Replace it with deliberate effort. Engage your mirrors. Surround yourself with people, mentors, and accountability partners who reinforce ownership, not doubt. Step 5. Measure progress relentlessly. Confidence grows when you see evidence of your capability. Journals, trackers, micro-win logs. These reinforce ownership daily. Every recorded victory compounds belief. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Step 6. Embrace challenges. Ownership requires risk. Confidence grows when you act despite fear. Each challenge met is proof of your capacity. Each obstacle overcome reinforces belief. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Let's bring it full circle. You've learned action over proving, harnessing fear, building silent habits, learning from failure, controlling self-talk, stacking micro-wins, focusing relentlessly, curating your circle, and anchoring purpose. Now, you consolidate all of it with ownership. Ownership transforms all these principles into unstoppable confidence. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. The final truth: confidence is not optional. It is a requirement. If you wait for motivation, inspiration, or permission, it will never arrive. The only way forward is ownership. Step into it. Own it. Reinforce it daily. Make it non-negotiable. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. Here's your challenge. Today, pick one area where you've been passive. Take full responsibility. Implement a daily ritual, a self-check, and a micro-win. Commit to it relentlessly. Repeat tomorrow. Repeat the next day. Ownership compounds. Belief compounds. Confidence becomes unstoppable. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. And before you go, if you've been serious about transformation, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell. Join our community. We deliver step-by-step guides, strategies, and actionable self-help techniques to turn potential into power, hesitation into action, and self-doubt into unshakable belief. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning. And let us help you own it every single day. You are capable. You are strong. You are responsible. You have learned the principles. You have the tools. Now it's time to claim your confidence. Take full ownership and live the life you were capable of all along. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Start owning.